What's going on, guys? It's Chris back here with another episode of the Solo Podcast. And you're probably wondering, Chris, whoa, you've got video this time? Yes, I do. One of my Chris Jamesies, they recommended that I record myself and record my face when I do these. For whatever reason, people want to see just what's going on, see all the magic that is me sitting in front of a microphone that I can't afford. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. You're probably also wondering, Chris, where's the normal mics? Because usually when me and Reese record the Two Brothers podcast, we're not using this mic. We're using those little shiny ones, and those are not. They're not really bad, but they are $20 pieces of shit. The only reason we use those for the podcast is because we could buy more than one of them. So yeah, that's really the only reason we have those. So I'm using the mic that I use for my videos that is a little bit overkill for the kind of content that I make, but I'm glad that I have it. Let me turn my phone on Do Not Disturb mode because I'm getting vibrations. This is how old people hold their phones. They put the three fingers up and they use their one finger and there. And then they show you a meme on Facebook that you saw 4 years ago. But yeah, it's Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, which not really an important day. But I figure you guys will be either seeing this today or on Thanksgiving, or maybe 4 days later. Get with it, come on. But let's talk about what we're thankful for. I'm thankful for Let's talk about something else. Just kidding. No, I guess I'm thankful for my car. It's a nice car that I can't afford. That's cool. Gets me where I need to go. I'm thankful for all this camera equipment that I thrusted myself into the world of debt in. That really taught me about finances at a young age. But yeah, I'm thankful for just being able to. I guess I'm an optimist. I think I'm probably like 80-20, like 80 optimist, 20 realist. I guess if you can fuse multiple different thoughts, like thought processing. I don't know what I'm saying. I usually, no matter what, I'm always trying to see, okay, how is this a good thing? How can I make this a good thing? Because it sucks just like going through life being like, this sucks, So I try to like think of, okay, what's the best part about this? Now I'm not like an unrealistic, well, there's the bright side to this, right, guys? When it's like obviously not like a good thing. I'm not like that. But what were we talking about again? Yes, being thankful. But yeah, so I'm thankful for a lot of things. I'm not going to go into all of them today because I have a boring life and not much goes into it. Let me take a sip of my coffee. I could be like Donald Trump when he drinks water. Have you guys seen that clip? It's so fucking weird. He's just like, he holds it up and then he like cranks it like that and then takes like a tiny little sip. And everyone's like, why would you put that much effort into opening the water bottle if you're just going to have a tiny little sip? But it's funny. He's like a robot that they're like, okay. Like, the robots from like Boston Dynamics when it's like, they're just kind of learning how to move like humans. That's pretty much what Donald Trump is. He's still in the phase where they're like, all right, we're beta testing his water drinking abilities. We're going to put him on display for that press conference. And then he does that and they're like, God damn it. He sucks. But yeah. Not a lot's been going on lately. I've still been planning out some videos I want to do, even though I'm not really making content. That's why I still want to try and make stuff like this, at least. So, those of you that do care, the 20 of you that do, still have something to look at and watch and listen. So, like I kind of said in my last podcast, I'm working on those like investigative pieces. I have yet to film them, but I've been like writing and planning because I want the videos to be like, the main thing I want you to take away from it is, wow, he put a lot of work into that. Sorry. I've got a hiccup festering, so I'm like trying not to like let it out while I talk, but I'm not doing so good. But yeah, so I'm working on those. What was I going to say? Shit, it was something I found on the internet that damn it, I can't remember it. But oh, yes, I thought this was funny as hell. So it's I think it's a strong theory, but it's basically a fan theory from SpongeBob. And you remember that episode where SpongeBob and Sandy were doing karate too much? Like they were They were just making karate all the time. And then Mr. Krabs is like, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. Your work is suffering. And then, so he says, no more karate. Well, someone said that episode, basically karate is a metaphor for sex. And at first I was like, but it's kind of starting to make sense. Basically, they're just doing karate, and they're, if you close your eyes, you're like, oh, okay. But also, there's things like they can't stop doing it. They're doing it all over the place. SpongeBob can't stop thinking about karate. And then, he puts his helmet on, he says safety first, and he winks at the camera, and it's like, okay. And then later on, once, he says that, or Mr. Krabs says that they can't do karate anymore, SpongeBob and Sandy, they're hanging out at the park, and they can't really think of what to do because all they usually do is karate. So they're like, well, all we ever do is karate. I don't know, we've never been together, not done karate. And it's like, okay, I think it's a strong theory, but I thought it was just funny. And usually SpongeBob is known for having their little, like, dirty jokes kind of hidden, in the children's show, and I like that. SpongeBob is really it's not gone downhill too crazy. I mean, I know SpongeBob is a children's show, and I'm 20, but, when I go back and watch some of the old episodes from, like, the first few seasons, it's like, there's actually funny shit in this, like, actual funny stuff, and I think that's cool how, like, they can make a children's show and, make it, SpongeBob, even the earlier shit, appeals to children a lot, like, kids love it. I loved it when I was a kid. But then you can also have someone who's older than a kid in the room watching it and still be able to tolerate it. But now you watch SpongeBob and it's like, it's just so colorful and loud and crazy. And it's just like, come on, like, you can still appeal to kids and make a decent show. But I think it's just lazy money pumping into television. I don't know. It's frustrating. But I've been drinking coffee a lot more. I used to drink like lots of Red Bull, 5 Hour Energy, because coffee has never really appealed to me in the taste area. Really, still kind of growing on me. But 5 Hour Energy, I liked 5 Hour Energy because it's simple, it's easy, and it's just all I gotta do is just gloop, and I'm done, and I can drink whatever I want for the rest of the day. And it's not like I gotta keep drinking a lot of something. But it's expensive. Fuck, it's like for 12 of them, it's like $30. So I was buying them back when I had that full-time office job because it wasn't like much for me to just order one of those. But, now I'm like, well, I bought a big thing of Maxwell House coffee, which, coffee's coffee. I don't know. I don't mind it. I've been trying to use less creamer. I don't use sugar because sugar, while you do get that sugar rush and it feels nice, you feel good, the crash kind of sucks. Like I just feel like I want to take a nap later. So I've trying to eliminate sugar from my diet mostly. There's some things where I can't really avoid sugar that much, or I can, but I don't feel like it. Like, you buy pasta sauce, and that's got sugar in it. I'm not going to go out of my way that much to where I have to buy certain types of pasta sauce. But when it comes to things like pop, Red Bull, just getting dessert kind of things, like when I go to Taco Bell to get my Taco Bell breakfast, I usually get an AM Crunchwrap. That's really the only thing I like at Taco Bell is their breakfast. But I'll get an AM Crunchwrap, and then I don't know what that noise is. It sounds like there's like heavy water dripping somewhere. I don't know. Anyways, and then I'll get the meal, so it'll come with a Mountain Dew Kickstart and those little Cinnabon Delights or whatever, which are delicious. But after I have that, like an hour later, I'm just ready to snooze. So I try to cut out those two things, not the Crunchwrap. The other day, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get the Kickstart and the Cinnamon Delights or whatever. So instead, I got just a second Crunchwrap. And I don't think that was much better. I didn't feel that good afterwards. And it wasn't like I felt sick. I kind of felt like I was in a video game and I was like rubber banding and lagging. That's kind of like how I feel after I eat too much fast food. But yeah, so I'll try to get like coffee creamer without sugar. Just if it's something where I can get it without sugar and it's not a hassle, then that's usually what I'll try. Because I know a lot of people say that, sugar is kind of one of the worst kind of food things, like, everyone says gluten and all that shit. And, okay, whatever the fuck, I like bread, I used to think, oh, bread's bread. Why? I don't give a shit about bread, but, I give a shit about bread, like, I love burgers. I love sandwiches. I love, I had spaghetti. My dad, oh my fucking dad, my dad always does this shit. He will make a heaping pot of spaghetti that serves like a family of 18. I don't know why he buys that much, but he does. And let me remind you, Reese doesn't live here. It's just me and my dad. My brother lives with my mom in another town, and that makes it sound like they live far away. It's like 10, 15 minutes away. But, so it's not really like we've got even 3 boys here eating all this. It's just me and my dad. And my dad, he's usually out doing all of his shit for work and everything. So it's usually just me here. And he transfers it from this big pot, and then he just puts it into a big bowl, covers it up, and throws it in the fridge. Now, and my dad always gives me shit. He's like, why don't you eat my spaghetti, son? Because when I make pasta, when I make dishes, this is just a daddy issues podcast. When I make my stuff, I put it in Tupperware. I mainly go for convenience. I put a lot of work into cooking everything on one day so that it's convenient for the rest of the week. But I don't like when I have to lug out the bowl, scoop it on, and then heat it up. I don't like that. But anyways, when I eat spaghetti, I love garlic bread. I know everybody loves garlic bread. I'm not like, I'm not the only person that thinks this. But I love garlic bread, and I love getting a piece, and then I scoop some paschetti, as children say, or some spaghetti, onto there, and I take a bite out of that, and that's how I do. So I usually have like 6 pieces of garlic bread every time I have spaghetti, and it's fucking awful. But that's where my bread, my whole bread thing comes in, where I eat too much of it. But whatever. Maybe one day, I always tell myself this, when I'm rich and I have time, that's when I will take my health super seriously. And it's not like I don't take it seriously now, Like, the worst things that I do eat is the Taco Bell breakfast, which, that's actually pretty bad. But other than that, I drink a lot of water. I make chicken, broccoli, rice meal preps. Those are easy to make, and I enjoy them. So, I'm not really unhealthy. A lot healthier than I used to be. But, so, I don't know. But one day I will get to my perfect health, But for now, it's just like too much work and money just to have perfect diet, And it's not like crazy expensive, but, because people are like, it's not that expensive to eat healthy. Well, I feel like there's a triangle, like a balance thing for everything in life. And for this specific scenario, you've got one end of the triangle, it's price. And then one end is health. And then one end is tasty. So you can have 2. You can have tasty and cheap, but it's not healthy. You can have cheap and healthy, but it's not tasty. And you can have healthy and tasty, but it's not cheap. You see what I mean? I feel like that triangle applies for everything in life. And, until I get to a point where I can just have all 3 corners of the triangle, then I'll just stick with 2. And I'll just cycle around through those ones. But, damn, that was pretty good for me to think on the fly. I never had that triangle scenario. Like, I never thought about that before, but, good. Just recently, sorry, I had a hiccup. Just recently, I went on my old YouTube channel, Chris Rants. That's the channel that I made YouTube videos on for 3-4 years, I think. And, that channel is not, like, huge. I think it's got, like, 269 subscribers, which isn't a crazy amount. But compared to what I have now, I have, like, 122 on this one. And I got a lot of videos on there and a lot of high-viewed videos. So I just went through and I republished them. I just put them back up, Might as well be just, being viewed on there. I think 2 or 3 of them are videos that are on this channel. Like the Teen Addicted to the Friend Zone. What's another one? Maybe Morning Piss. Morning Piss might be this one. There's the one where it's like, it's the one where Minor Inconveniences. Yeah, the one where Reese is like, can't figure out what to do with the fork, and it's like a big dramatic thing. Sorry. I just woke up not that long ago. You could probably tell because I have tired little boy eyes. I look like absolute shit when I wake up. And I don't know if I get that from my dad, because no offense to my dad, but my dad looks like a different person when he wakes up. And my brother does too. Me and Reese look like ugly fucks when we wake up. And I know a lot of people like look different when they get up, but like honestly, we look like different people until I get some hot water blasted on my face and like a good hour or two of just being awake. I don't look good. Like, I look really bad. I woke up at Noah's house last week, or it was last Wednesday. I didn't have to work for the next 2 days, so I went over to Noah's, partied it up. We all hung out. I spent the night, and then I woke up, and since I have like product in my hair, when I wake up, my hair is like in a whole nother fucking world, and my eyes are just like puffy, and I don't know where I am, and all I want to do is just light myself on fire. So, I don't know how I got on that, but yeah, so I'm going to enjoy Thanksgiving tomorrow. It's about, what time is it? It is 4:19 p.m. I will have to be to work tomorrow at 5:30 a.m., which normally I go in at 6 a.m. because I open up the office, kind of make the front end ready to go, which sounds like a lot. Like, it sounds like, whoa, Chris, you do a lot. It's not really that much. And but tomorrow, it's Thanksgiving. I have to be ready an hour earlier. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but it'll be nice. Then I get out at 2:15 and I get to go hang out with my fam, eat some food. That'll be delish. My grandma, I hope she makes banana pudding. She always makes banana pudding. And yeah, I'm excited for that. Back in the day, freshman year, I used to, like, for this high school that I went to, basically we had to use my grandparents' address at first because my address didn't like work, I guess, for, the place. So we'd use their address, and I would just be dropped off at their house on the bus, and then my grandpa would take me home. Later, like 2 months later, they changed the zoning to where I would be able to go to that school for my home address. But anyways, I would take the bus there, and then my grandma would always make some food, and I'd always take some shit home with me, and I loved that. Also, maybe that was around when I had really bad acne, but it also didn't help. My dad would give me $5 a day for lunch at school, which is kind of a lot, and I don't understand why public schools don't just do free lunch for everybody. I think some do, and some are starting to, but it just makes sense to give everybody free lunch at public school. Anyways, basically my dad would give me $5 a day for lunch, and I thought that I had free lunch. I was getting free lunch at school, and I was like, well, I'm not going to tell my dad. So what I used the $5 for is my grandpa would take me to Taco Bell after school almost every day, and I would get a I would get a 5-layer burrito, and that wasn't too much. And then I'd get like 1 or 2 other things, and then I would go to Road Ranger and get a 32-ounce Mountain Dew. Really bad at your key growing points. Maybe that's why I'm not as developed as I should be. But oops, sorry. I hope that didn't make a mic noise. These don't have the little. Well, I do have a shock absorber on this. Anyways, maybe that's why I'm such a tiny boy. But yeah, and it didn't help for my skincare. Really was just not a good thing. But hey, at least I care now when I'm done growing. But I don't know. I feel as though these podcasts are a little bit rambled. I think what I'm gonna do next time I do one of these is I'm gonna have a list of things, and I'm gonna structure them, I guess, and not too structured, but just at least kind of something like an outline, so I can always go back to something, so it's not just like rambling on and on and on. But anyways, we're at about 18 minutes, longer than the last one. Well, if you guys did enjoy, let me know. Leave a like, rating, comment, say, hey, I like these, hey, I don't. Any suggestions what I should do? Like I said, I'm going to get back into some actual fresh content soon here. The goal has always been to do like 3 videos a week, because YouTube loves that shit. They will fucking pimp you if you do that. And that's the goal, honestly. The goal is to make content people like, entertain you guys, because that's my main goal, is to just entertain people. I like that. But also to thrive while doing that and get to the point where I can do that and that only, you got to grow. So I'm always chasing new algorithm things. I love learning about YouTube and love learning about how to grow on this platform, because there's so much that goes into this, and it's so interesting to me. So but I don't know, I might just do like 1 or 2 videos a week, put more work into those and get to a point where I have more time to put into it. I've always actually been thinking, okay, I'm rambling on. I'll save that topic for the next podcast. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Have a great Thanksgiving. Be thankful for everything. Be thankful that this podcast was... Okay, it is 20 minutes. Never mind. have a great day, have a great Thanksgiving, great holidays, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.